What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Arman Tsarukyan fires back at Ilia Topuria. Recently, we reported that after UFC 317, Ilia Topuria said Arman looked scared in the crowd after he saw the Charles Oliveira knockout. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Well, it looks like Arman has now heard those comments because he went on X and said the following: "Running from the real contender only proves one thing, you're scared. Deep down, you know exactly what happens if you ever step in there with me, Ilia Topuria." And then randomly, Arman took shots at Dan Hooker. He said, "On a side note, Dan Hooker is still a just thought that needed to be said." Who do you want to see Arman Tsarukyan fight next? While we're talking about Ilia Topuria, it was revealed this morning that Ilia has overtaken Islam Makhachev in the pound-for-pound rankings. Yes, you heard that correctly. Ilia Topuria is now the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC right now. Huge congratulations to Ilia Topuria. Also, this weekend, we reported Alexandre Pantoja complaining about the UFC rankings for not respecting flyweights. Well, it looks like he is now happy as he moved up 4 spots and is now ranked #5 on the pound-for-pound list. Pantoja reacted by saying, "They finally put some respect on our name." Dana White reveals UFC 321 location. Just a couple of hours ago, the UFC revealed the location for the UFC 321 card. It was revealed this morning that UFC 321 will take place on October 25th in Abu Dhabi. Now, this seems to be the rumored card for Islam Makhachev versus JDM. However, nothing is confirmed. Another UFC fighter also wants to be on this card. Jailton Almeida tweeted at the UFC asking to be on this card as well. "This is the card I always ask the UFC to be part. Please guys, put me there. Can be against anyone. Volkov, Aspinall, Gane, anyone." A fan asked, "Is Aspinall the one you want to fight the most?" To which Almeida responded with, "The belt is always the target, but it's not happens. Volkov for the title eliminator is the fight to make." Who do you want to see headline UFC 321? As of right now, we don't have the main event for UFC 320 and 321, which are both happening this October. Reminder, there's no pay-per-view card in September this year, as Noche UFC was downgraded from a pay-per-view to a fight night card. Dricus Plessis leaks UFC 319 co-main event, and Khamzat sends a message to Strickland. Justin Gaethje might be all in on a title fight, and Paddy Pimblett may be looking to cash in on his beef with Ilia Topuria to secure himself a crack at the title. But according to Dricus Plessis, the pair are going to collide in the co-main event of UFC 319 in August. On the heels of last weekend's UFC 317 event, DDP dropped news of the fight in a video on Ahmed Amwell's YouTube channel.
The fight in August in Chicago. Yes. Wanna go?
Let's do it.
We're gonna go Miami and LA.
It's gonna be a big card.
Might as well go to Chicago.
It's gonna be a big card. The co-main event is Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
That's an awesome fight.
That's gonna be a sick
Awesome
one.
fight.
Khamzat and you, man, crazy.
The news immediately sent the MMA community into a frenzy, with Brendan Schaub looking for clarity and Perry Punch indicating that the news may be fake. In the meantime, Colby Covington called for his own fight with Pimblett while speaking with Matan Evan, saying that at this stage of his career, he's focused on legacy fights.
Are you done in the UFC?
No, I'm not done in the UFC. I still have some unfinished business, but I want big fights, you know? High level, first ballot Hall of Famer type fights, legacy fights. So if they're not able to do that, you know, then I will transfer over.
Against who would you want to fight next?
I mean, I think the Paddy Pimblett fight's interesting. You know, he's got a little bit of name right now, but only because he's got, you know, an English accent and a bowl cut. Otherwise, the guy's just...
You want to fight him because he's smaller. It's an easy fight?
No, he's actually bigger than me. He's a weight bully. Yeah, he cuts a lot of weight.
While there's no telling what the UFC has planned for the UFC 319 co-main, Khamzat Chimaev has touched down in the United States for the August card. Shortly after his arrival, he took a shot at Strickland online, posting a middle finger emoji in response to previous comments Strickland made where he alleged that Chimaev shouldn't be allowed in the United States. The only problem was that Chimaev tagged the wrong account, which led to a pretty funny exchange with the guy Chimaev accidentally tagged. With the event just over 6 weeks away, expect an announcement on the co-main event sooner rather than later. Daniel Cormier reveals sad news after UFC 317. After returning home to California following this weekend's UFC 317 card, Daniel Cormier learned that his car had been stolen. DC shared a video with his fans online, revealing that after spending a considerable amount of time searching all throughout the parking garage for his car, the attendants informed him it left the structure days before.
Last week, I kind of thought, man, I've had the same vehicle since 2018, driving Raptors over and over. So I changed the car. I thought, okay, it'd be cool to get a different vehicle. I get back from UFC 317. I'm going up and down looking for my car. Granted, I've had this car for 4 days. When I leave to go to work, I'm pressing the key, everything. I go here talking to these people who tell you your license plate. They tell me my car was driven out of the parking structure on Thursday night. Somebody stole my truck at the San Jose airport. God damn it. Unbelievable.
While the former champion thanked the San Jose Police Department for being all over the situation, there's no telling when or if DC will get his car back. Merab talks about his next UFC fight. After picking up a dominant victory over Sugar Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili is eager to get back in the octagon and defend his title again before the end of this year. During a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, the bantamweight champion called for a fight in Las Vegas in October, or a fight at Madison Square Garden in November.
So I'm happy that I am first time I'm this good position now.
Yes.
I can choose when I want to fight, but I want to fight as soon as possible. I heard they have an event here in Las Vegas. October 4th, I think, and I want to fight soon. I don't want to wait too much. But what do you think? Maybe I ask you advice. Should I fight in Las Vegas here, or should I wait November MSG?
It's just 1 month later.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to wait.
You don't want to wait? Because I was going to say MSG. If I were you and you have the opportunity, I would go for MSG.
Okay.
You're going to do it.
Okay.
Tell Hunter, my friend Ariel said
Okay, we'll do.
MSG.
Okay, we'll do.
Although there's still time for the UFC to figure things out, all signs are pointing to Corey Sandhagen getting the next crack at the title. During his appearance, Dvalishvili also spoke about fellow Georgian Ilia Topuria, saying that he won't spar with El Matador anymore after Topuria dropped him with body shots on 2 separate occasions. He has great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu, and we all know that he hits hard. I can't spar with Ilia anymore. He hits hard. While the UFC won't be heading to Spain or Georgia this year, perhaps the stars will align for Topuria and Dvalishvili to both defend their belts on the same card in October or November. Jiri Prochazka fires back at Magomed Ankalaev. Back in May, Magomed Ankalaev, or rather someone on his account, took some shots at both Alex Pereira and Jiri Prochazka, alleging that neither of the two were interested in fighting. When it came to Jiri specifically, the champion called him a fake ninja, saying that he had to go back to school because he can't read. Now, after graduating and announcing that his focus is shifting back to fighting, Prochazka is clapping back on the heels of Ankalaev's latest verbal jab. In a post on Sunday, the champion wrote, "Breaking news, Alex now asking he wants to fight me during Ramadan again, and I need more time, and the other clown, he have to do his homework. Let me fight Carlos. I think he's more dangerous than all of them." Prochazka then fired back with a post of his own, saying that if the champion doesn't want to fight, he's more than fine fighting Carlos Ulberg. "Hey clown, I finished university, like you finished elementary school, I hope. And if you don't want me as your teacher now, I'll fight Carlos next." While Ankalaev said that Pereira is asking for a fight during Ramadan, Pereira recently stated that he's hoping to return in September, October, or November. With that in mind, hopefully we don't have to wait until after Ramadan to see Ankalaev defend his title. UFC updates. On the heels of the UFC's International Fight Week card, let's take a look at some UFC fight updates, starting with a new addition to the UFC Abu Dhabi card on July 26th. According to reports, Davy Grant and Damon Blackshear will collide in a bantamweight bout that will see Grant look to build on a win over Ramon Tavares, and Blackshear look to build on a 3-fight win streak that most recently saw him defeat Alante Gailey in April. Next up, we got 2 new additions to the UFC Fight Night Paris card on September 6th, with Shauna Bannon set to fight Sam Hughes and Umar Sy set to fight Brenson Ribeiro. The Bannon-Hughes fight will see Shauna Bannon look to build on the 2-fight win streak that most recently saw her submit Pooja Tomar, while Sam Hughes will be looking to build on a 2-fight win streak that most recently saw her defeat Stephanie Luciano. In the case of the Sy-Ribeiro fight, Umar Sy will be looking to bounce back from a recent loss to Alonzo Menifield, while on the flip side, Ribeiro will be looking to bounce back from a first-round KO loss to Azamat Mirzakhanov. And last but not least, while speaking with Homa Fight this week, Bilal Muhammad doubled down on his call-out of Kamaru Usman, opening up on their altercation on the set of pound for pound that allegedly left Usman in tears. When you look at the division, we're the 2 biggest names, so if it was to make it happen, it makes the most sense even for like the UFC. I'm like, alright, well, that's a clear number 1 contender fight. Although Usman dismissed the idea of a fight between the two after his win over Joaquin Buckley, the UFC may look to book it anyway, given the bad blood. Fighter attacked by Sean Strickland speaks out. Over the weekend, Sean Strickland and Chris Curtis were involved in a heated altercation with Luis Hernandez, a pro fighter who extended his record to 6-0 with a win over Strickland and Curtis's teammate Miles Hunsinger. After locking up a standing guillotine, Hernandez heard someone from Hunsinger's corner say that he was going to tire his arms out. While sinking in the submission, he clapped back, blowing a kiss to the cornerman, but things were just getting started. After securing the submission victory, Hernandez then taunted Strickland and Curtis with his post-fight celebration, leading to both UFC fighters storming the cage and one of them attacking him. Following the altercation, Hernandez spoke with MMA Fighting's Mike Heck to discuss the situation.
And I honestly had, like I said again, a great time, you know, with the sticking the tongue out. Like I didn't think he was going to take it that personal, because, you know, I'm pretty sure he does a lot of talking in the cage. You know, I hope the commission does not, you know, like they even asked me, they're like, hey, you're going to press charge? I'm like, what? No. And I would never want anything to happen to these guys because I actually like them, you know, and I hope they watch this. And, you know, I have nothing against Sean, nothing against Chris, nothing against Extreme Couture. I like those guys.
So far, no word yet on whether Strickland or Curtis will face any punishment for their role in the altercation. Details emerge from Joe Rogan and Liver King beef. Last week, news emerged that the Liver King was looking to throw down with Joe Rogan in a grappling match. Shortly after, the Liver King actually traveled to Austin, Texas, and began making videos where he threatened the UFC commentator. On Monday, MMA Fighting received a copy of the criminal complaint filed against the Liver King, and as it turns out, it was a member of Joe Rogan's security team who alerted police to the videos being shared by the Liver King. Because the videos showed a pattern of escalation, once the Liver King traveled to Austin, Texas, Rogan's security team intervened, getting police involved. Once the Austin Police Department saw the videos, the complaint says that they believe the Liver King was in the middle of, quote, some sort of mental health episode. Once Rogan was looped in, he indicated that he's heard Liver King has a significant problem and think he's, quote, significantly unstable and seems like he needs help. After posting bail, the Liver King is due back in court on July 16th. Dana White forced to cancel UFC 318 fight. Well, it looks like the UFC 318 card is taking a major hit. It was revealed late last night that the UFC was forced to cancel a UFC 318 fight due to Ikram Aliskerov getting injured and no longer being able to compete against Bruno Ferreira. According to Ikram, he was in great shape and everything was going as planned, but he had to withdraw due to a broken toe. He posted on social media writing, I was in great shape. Unfortunately, trouble happens. I have to withdraw from the fight on July 19 due to a broken finger. Inshallah, I will be back. Very soon, I'll be back very soon. The footage of his injury was also shared online, as well as x-rays of his broken toe. Ikram is hoping to return this October after his injury has time to heal. With this fight off UFC 318, what are your thoughts on the card? Let us know down in the comments below. We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.